And so today I was actually just looking at my calendar and I was like, November. This was around the time last year that everybody at schools only worry when they were a 12th year student was worrying about where we were going to school next year, where we were applying, and what we were going to do with our lives. So I figured that today I wanted to do a video kind of about my tips on like applying to school, choosing your school, and making your decision is definitely a big deal, and choosing your program. So obviously I live in Canada, so first of all, I know in the States they just call it college, like whatever post-secondary education you are, they just like generalize and call it that, but in Canada there is a distinction, and I don't know, I'm not like super crazy about it, but a lot of people, if you get it wrong, they get really defensive if you ask us. So if you hear me saying the difference, college is where you get like a certificate and or a diploma, as far as I know. But you can also, generally college programs are 2 years, and then you can take like a third year like postgraduate program to like specialize kind of, in my experience. So that's generally what college is. It's like a 2-year program, and then you can take like a 1-year postgraduate type thing. And college has a lot more programs. I feel like their programs are a lot more like specialized, kind of like you can take a certain, I don't know. It's just, they're very specialized, whereas university is very general, because in university it's a degree that you get. Like I'm in a program to get a degree. Everybody here is in a program to get a degree. But colleges also offer degree programs. It's becoming more and more common, and you can take a 4-year degree at a college. It's like the same course sequence kind of as a university, and the tuition is the same because you're getting a degree at the end. College tuition is cheaper than university tuition, and you just kind of have to weigh out the pros and cons and see which is better suited for you. Personally, I just went to university just because I had taken all university courses in high school, and so I thought that that's just what I was supposed to do. I really didn't even think about it, and I just kind of like asked my parents, like, is this what you did? And they were like, yeah. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm doing that. It really depends on what you want to do. I really was very clueless throughout the application process. So that leads me to my first topic of discussion for when you are choosing your university. There's a really great website that you can go to. I don't know if this is Canada-wide or if it's just provincial, but it's called einfo.com, electronic info. I will link it in the bottom bar below. And that's the website that my school recommended we use, and they would do all these presentations with us, kind of showing us, like taking us through how to use it. So on there, that is I think it's just university. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. So you can type in like the school or the program or anything like that, and choose it that way. It gives you the program requirements for courses, for grade averages in high school, and then it tells you a little bit about the fees and the dorm setup. So that's definitely a great place to start. And for programs, just look really at the course sequence. I really didn't do that when I chose my program, and I wish that I had, because there's some courses that I'm taking that I really don't like, and I can't do anything about it now. So I definitely recommend looking at the programs and the requirements, and don't be afraid to ask questions. I know my school had universities and colleges come and do presentations from like all over Canada, and any of the presentations that I went to, they'd be like, do you have any questions? And everybody's like, nope, I think we're good. So don't be afraid to ask questions. I wish I had. So yeah, that's pretty much the first topic. Second is location of the school that you're choosing. Commuting is a great option if you don't like dorm life, or you just want to live at home, and if there is, most importantly, a school in your area that is within driving distance. So I don't know. For me, I chose the city. I chose my school based on the city. I really like the city. There's more than one university here. There's more than one college here, I'm pretty sure. And this was the only school that came to my mind when I thought of applying. So I really didn't look into it. I know for location for me, I'm on like a train route to go home, and that location wise was great for me because I can just take a train to get home. So that's definitely something to look into. I know some of my friends go to schools where it's like, in order to get home, you have to take like a bus 3 hours going the opposite way and then take a train back 4 hours to go home when they literally live an hour from home if their parents just drove them. It's like a really confusing situation. So definitely look at location, and don't single out a school that is too far away based on the fact that you're afraid that you're going to be homesick. I don't know, I don't consider myself to be far from home. Other people consider myself to be far from home, but it works out fine for me, and I don't know, it's just up to you. Like, if you're one of those people who's scared that you're going to get like super homesick, then I would not recommend you go somewhere too far from home. Next topic is fees and scholarships and bursaries. Education is extremely expensive. I think college tuition is like $4,000 a year, and university tuition, it's different for program, but it's above $5,000. And it's crazy. It's extremely, extremely expensive, and it's okay. It is probably the biggest investment you will make in your life is your education, besides a home. So one thing to look into is scholarships and bursaries. I was never like, these people are just walking and walking everywhere all day today. I was never like a stellar above average student, and most scholarships tend to be for stellar above average students. So I really didn't have a lot of options for applying to scholarships, but I mean, you can still apply to it even if you don't meet the requirements, because maybe a million other people are in the same situation as you when they see the requirements, and so they don't apply, and then nobody ends up applying, then it could end up going to you. You know what I mean? You know how they say like scholarships always have like money left over because people don't apply to them? So just apply anyway, it's worth a shot. You've got nothing to lose. And then bursaries, apply to those too. I mean, apply to free money wherever. Whenever you see contests, apply to it. And a great place to look for these awards and bursaries, I found out about this through my school. It's called studentawards.com. It's a Canadian website. You can just apply to anything that you meet the requirements to. You make a profile, and like there's honestly awards on there where you comment. Like, I remember one was like, what would your ideal roommate be? And you just write down a little comment, and it could be like, I would want to be roommates with Kim Kardashian because I would want a crying baby Northwest in my room 24/7. You just put down like whatever, and I remember you could win like $250 just for writing down who your ideal roommate would be. So just apply to everything. I didn't get anything through that. I did get a scholarship through my school. A lot of schools do automatic scholarships, and that's what I did. So if you have a grade average of between 80% and 100, you get a scholarship based on that. So you have to keep up that average in university, which is extremely difficult, but I mean, it helps out if you are starting off going into school. At least it reduces your tuition first year. If you lose a scholarship after that, I mean, it's fine because you had it for a year, right? So that's at least good. The next thing to consider is residence. I did not want to be in this residence. I wanted to be in a different one. I applied very late, and I was misinformed completely on the entire residence experience. It was a very complicated process for me, and they would I don't know, it was just very, very frustrating process. So my thing for you with residence is to stay on top of everything. Apply as early as you can. If there's a school, like this was me, I applied to all the schools. I knew that I was going to go to this one. I applied to other schools, but I was like, I knew that I was going to go to this one, even when I was putting in my applications for other places. So I should have applied to residence when I applied to university, which was before Christmas. The best residence on my campus filled up before Christmas last year, and I applied to residence in like April, March, something like that. I applied very, very late, and you can apply until June. So I applied very, very late. I was very confused the entire process. I sent in a personal check instead of a mail order or whatever, and so then they had to like send all my information back to me, and I had to send it back again, and that ended up taking like 2 to 3 extra weeks. I forgot to return my contract in the summer. Like, it was just a mess. Like, they almost gave my room away, but luckily I have my room. But definitely stay on top of it, ask questions, make sure you know what's going on, because you don't want to end up the way I was. I learned the hard way, but I'm here. I don't like my residence, but I'm actually living in here. So another thing for residents is you have to put in, there's like, I think in everything. Okay. For residents, you have to fill out like a couple questions on your application. I think it's the same for most schools, and it's kind of like personality traits. My tip for you is say that you are the silent, most antisocial little mouse there is. Anything on this floor, like, people are up literally 24 hours a day. Like, there's people who are up at like 2 o'clock in the morning running around on like a Wednesday. So my recommendation is just say that you're quiet, end up with a quiet room, and enjoy it, because you can go to those other floors and meet other people. Like, it's no problem. You just go down the elevator. I would much rather be in that situation than here. So that's what I say. Like, don't end up on a party floor. You will regret it. You really will. Especially when it comes time for exams and there's people outside of your door at 3 o'clock in the morning watching TV. It's not good. So say you're quiet and say you're antisocial, because people who know you, that you meet during frosh, like, you meet people during frosh anyway. Like, I'm not really very close with anybody on my floor anyway. You meet people during frosh, so do not say that you are very social and that you like to party, because when you want to sleep or when you have your crash, you just don't want to be on a party floor. That's my recommendation to you. I wish that I'd said that. I thought on mine that it would balance it out, saying like I'm social, but like I like to study at the same time. I don't like to study, but like I want to study at the same time. Like, it's just not a good balance here. So say you're antisocial, please. Help yourself, honestly. Also for residents, I got a single room. Oh my god, I would have died if I had a roommate. I personally applied early enough that I got a single, but everybody else here who was in a double didn't want a double. So if you want a single room, apply early, and honestly, a single room is the best. I don't get lonely, I don't get sad on my own, and if I am sad, a person isn't sitting across from me watching me self-corrupt, So honestly, single room is the way to go. It is a little bit more expensive, but oh my god, it's worth it. Just get a single, please. It's wonderful. Or if you have like a friend you want to live with from high school, then get a double room, it's fine. I know some people are like very against that, and they're like, you won't end up friends, blah, 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 but I think it's fine. There's people on my floor who are friends from high school, and it works out fine for them, so I don't know. If that's what you want to do it. Next thing to consider when you're looking at your school is what the off-campus housing options are for next year. I live in a very large city, so off-campus housing is going to be difficult. Real estate here is extremely expensive. Rent is extremely expensive, and that's the price you pay here. So, I didn't really look like that much into off-campus housing. Like, I don't think it'll be a problem here, but just make sure that you're in a situation where like you're able to get good off-campus housing. Like, just talk to people who are like, if you know anybody who like went to your high school that's going to your college or university that's like third or second year, be like, yo, like, where did you live last year when you lived off campus? And that's just a good way to kind of get informed and learn what landlords are bad if they have experience with that. And then the next thing is tour your school. I recommend it. I applied to 3 schools and I only toured one, and that's the one where I am here. I just wasn't interested in doing the other ones. I just didn't have any motivation to. So I recommend touring the school though and seeing like if you could picture yourself here. And the next thing is like, does it feel right? Like, do you feel okay? Do you feel comfortable? Could you picture yourself walking this campus? Because when I came for my tour last year, I could totally picture myself here, and that's why I chose it. So I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. Make sure that it's somewhere that you feel comfortable, that you could picture yourself living in, because even if you miss being away from home or you don't like your program, at least you will be in an environment that you feel comfortable, that you like. You know, there always has to be one positive, and you don't want to like go somewhere where you completely hate every single aspect. There are days where I hate every single aspect except for walking around this gorgeous campus. So that's just my opinion. And then the last tip that I have for you is don't worry about getting in, worry about getting out. This is something that one of my teachers taught me in high school, and it's definitely something that I kept in the back of my mind when I was applying. Honestly, you're probably not going to have any problem getting into your program. I didn't have any problems getting into the programs that I applied to, and it just, like, honestly, getting in is the least of your worries. Getting out of these next 3 to 4 years, or I guess you could just do 2, like if you're at a college, that's the bigger worry than getting in. So don't stress yourself out about the future. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, keep that in mind, because the last thing that you'd want to do is get into an extremely difficult program that you don't think you could picture yourself in for 4 years, and you know, you don't want to pride yourself on the fact that you got into this program if you can't get out of it. You know what I mean? Like, if you can't finish up your years. And it's okay to switch programs. It's okay to take a general the first year and then switch. So honestly, don't stress yourself out too much about it. It will all work out, and always have a plan B, and just choose your school based on where you want to go, not where everybody else is going. That is my biggest tip. You will meet so many people when you move away. So honestly, don't worry about moving away to a new city and being the only one. That's what my situation is, and it's worked out completely fine. So I hope this helps you, and good luck with the application process. I hope you all get into the programs that you want to be in, and good luck to everybody applying. You will do fabulous, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.